Excuse me, I'd like a coffee, please.
Sir, this cafeteria is for hospital staff and patients' families only. Look at those shoes. Look at that shirt. You think this is a homeless shelter?
People stopped eating and phones came out, and someone whispered, "Is he recording this?" Brandon didn't care and continued, "These torn sneakers, this dirty cargo pants, you're making patients uncomfortable because we run a premium facility here, not a charity kitchen." A nurse giggled while two residents pulled out their phones filming, and the security guard walked over with his hand on his radio, but nobody said a word to stop it. But what none of them knew was that in less than 5 minutes, the person they'd laughed at would change everything. My name is James Morrison, and I'm 62 years old. That day I wore an old gray t-shirt, faded cargo pants, and yes, those beat-up running shoes with a hole near the toe. I looked like I'd just finished moving furniture. 3 years ago I was Dr. James Morrison, Chief of Cardiothoracic Surgery, and I performed over 2,000 open-heart surgeries in this building. But more than that, I own 40% of this hospital, and I built the cardiac wing with my own money. That morning, I came back to see if the place I loved still had a soul, so I dressed down because I wanted to test something: kindness, respect, humanity. Brandon's words stung more than any scalpel ever did, because this was my hospital. I'd walked these halls for 30 years. I'd held hands of dying patients in this very cafeteria, and now I was being thrown out like trash. My chest felt heavy, not from disease, but from disappointment. Then I heard a voice saying, "Dr. Hayes, please." And it was Maria Rodriguez who'd been cleaning these floors for 20 years. I remembered her because she was always smiling, always asking patients how they felt. "This gentleman isn't bothering anyone," Maria said quietly, but Brandon spun around and snapped, "Maria, get back to work, because this doesn't concern the cleaning staff." But Maria didn't move, and she looked at me with kind eyes, offering, "Sir, would you like to sit at my table? I have an extra sandwich." Her hands were shaking, but she stood her ground, and Brandon's face turned red as he warned, "Maria, one more word and you're written up." She swallowed hard but stayed right there beside me. And that moment, that's when I knew exactly what I had to do. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a small envelope, then handed it to Maria, saying softly, "Open this when you get home tonight." Inside that envelope was something that would change her life forever. And for Dr. Brandon Hayes, well, his nightmare was just beginning. Do you want to know what was written in that letter? Comment part 2 inches and I'll tell you what happened next.